This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast, recorded live at the FingerLakes1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls, New York. And now your host, Chris Marquardt. Good afternoon, good evening, good day. Welcome to the 32nd episode of the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast, presented by Keystone Nationals and the Bash for Cash. We've got the guys from Bash for Cash coming up a little bit later on. First, we're going to talk to Kyle Pudiwitr, member of the winning team from the T-Bone Memorial out there in Oskaloosa. And then at the bottom of the show, we're going to be talking to Brandon Theisen with Plymouth County Fair. Thanks for joining us. We got a full house tonight, Josh. Here, I didn't think you were going to make it, so that was cool. I was happy to hear that you made the drive in, and then
I didn't make it. Stole my chair.
Yeah, you got here early enough to take Brian's chair. Which
4 o'clock. Got to get here 2 hours early to get Brian's.
Well, you know, you got to do what you got to do, right? You got to put it in. And Ben joining us here as well. Got a couple new folks to talk about. Just got the information back. Smashed Empire Films and Crash Course podcast date for August 16th in Wadena, Minnesota. Going to be going up there with Darren Agard. It's a team format show. They have a minimum of 8 teams, maximum of 20, and it's a one-day show. So that's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be additional information coming up as we move through that stuff. Just get online, look up the Wadena County Fair. All the information's on there. There's also a thread for the Grand Slam is what the name of the event's going to be. The Grand Slam. It's on WeCrash, so you can find a lot of the information there. Somebody that Josh is familiar with is involved with the rule writing program over there. Jesse's going to be involved with that, and I believe you're running the night before.
I haven't talked to Jesse about it actually, so I gotta get with him on that. Let's hope so.
I'm excited about that because that is the home area of some of the guys that we saw when we were up at Winter Slam. So I got my fingers crossed that we see a really crazy Thunderbird.
That would be cool.
Oh, Zacharias.
From Zacharias, maybe.
Oh,
you know, I don't. What's that?
Colton too.
Did you
Right?
see the picture Colton put somebody on their lid the other day on Facebook?
No.
Yeah.
He put them up on their side. Yeah, I seen that. I know Ray Stoker's building a T-Bird also right now.
So maybe we're going to see Ray Stoker. I hope that we get to see this happen. That maybe those guys build a car and maybe the E2 Sliders team comes back together and puts a team together. That's their home area. Lance Pritchett, Bob Meyer. I don't know. It's early to say. I don't know if they are coming or not. They've got some pre-registrations, but until they get a final registration list together, that's all speculation on my part. I've got nothing other than geography that I'm going off on that.
That should be just a crazy show anyway. I mean, them guys were crazy.
They hit
with frozen dirt, you know, and
Yeah.
it was slick, super slick. I can just imagine what it would be like, you know.
It's going to be hammered down.
Yeah, summertime and dry. I mean, stuff's going to get jumped.
And there's going to be a couple other support classes. That's once again, that's August 16th up in Wadena. We're looking forward to that. And just released the schedule for the Seneca County Fair. Seneca County Fair, you can be seeing some more information about them as we move through the coming week. Kyle Collinsworth and the Seneca County Fair here in Waterloo, New York, Birthplace Memorial Day. They're going to have some information out there for you guys here pretty soon. Thursday night is 4-cylinder night, qualifying heats, and also the junk run, which is one of the wildest things that you can see in Central New York. It is a lot of fun to watch that. That's S10 Blazers, S10 pickup trucks, Ford Explorers, Safari wagons, Safari vans. It's Volvos. We're going to let the Volvos run this year, so that'll be a lot of fun. And nothing beats the night when they had all that stuff on the track, and a guy won it with a Firebird. I don't know how he ended up doing it, but he
never hit anybody.
That would be how. That would
never hit anybody. He could have put the glass back in it and drove it home.
You know what I learned about them junk runs though? That those Explorers
are the toughest things in the world.
Damn them things are hard as a rock.
If you put like
Durango.
if you put a pointy bumper on a Explorer, I think he would just absolutely junk
all
stuff.
night long. I know. I've seen a bunch of them run, and they're hard to beat.
Yeah. Well, it's the last time I ran. Kyle Collinsworth let me borrow one of. He was one that he was junking.
You got a Ranger, right? The pickup truck.
Well, I ran that the next.
That's the one that caught on fire and you couldn't get out.
I got out just fine.
The door got jammed. What are you talking about?
Yeah, the first year I had a Cherokee. Then I had the Ranger. Then I had Cherokee.
You had the Cherokee. That was
Blazer.
That was when you told me I would never drive anything other than a Mopar, and you justified driving the Jeep that way. And the next year you showed up with a Blazer, then you had a Ranger, and now you're driving a Cadillac.
The amazing thing is, the closer to cheap the closer to free it is, the more like I am to run it.
Well,
but it was fun. But anyways, I drove that Explorer. And
Josh Decker won't judge you for that.
No.
The only thing that stopped me was I didn't loop the training line. So when I was from the front,
you rookie.
I built it the night before.
It's a junk run. They don't want you putting no time into them.
But I mean, it does.
I've already had my ideas of getting like a Durango and putting a 3 stacks and.
But that does turn it does make for a very entertaining show. And then Saturday is the 4-cylinder championship. Defending champion is Mike Felice. We had him on the show. Assume he's going to be there. A lot of those 4-cylinder figure 8 cars that are left over, they'll come back Saturday. The full size qualifying and then the full size championship. The winners get qualified for the New York State Fair. It's a fun show. If you haven't got the chance to get over there, all joking aside, we've talked about it here, and now we're actually officially going to be talking about it here as we go forward.
That's a huge track too.
But yeah, there's a lot of room.
Funny
there.
Derby guy. That's like one of those tracks where it's like, oof, I don't know about this one. Yeah. You look down that and it's like.
They try to shorten it up though a couple of nights, but it's just I'd rather have the full track myself.
Well, you're crazy.
It's just
it's what we grew up on.
And the track's getting real soft. That track used to be. I mean, you used to squeal tires in the feature, and not last year it was like a
soupy.
Yeah, it was like a.
Well, they use those excavators. They use those excavators, and it's pushing the base out of the track.
Yeah, it's just milling around. It's like being out in a plowed field.
It's
like
that's
Troy.
That's dirt track dynamics, is what that is.
Digging it.
Yeah, it's definitely not a place to have a deep gear.
Well, Troy, you have to because it's 6 feet of mud.
Yeah.
This year I pulled into Troy, and mud is coming in my tranny shifter hole, like all over my feet. I'm like, what am I, a pond?
Right.
That happened to Mark Benjamin once. He had a Chrysler wagon he bought from Troy, and it was so muddy that it packed all of the frame completely full of clay. From front to back, and painted itself black when it dried.
Yeah, okay, Mark. Yeah, I bet it did, buddy. Yeah, sure.
Right, Mark Benjamin, buddy, in case you're listening.
Oh, man.
What are you guys doing?
Nothing.
We've had a lot of rain lately, so the frame I got in the creek, that might be all full by now.
I
just heard about that. Like, I want to start doing that.
Dude, that was like 20 years ago. We heard
that's
that
how far behind I am.
We got Kyle Pudiwitr on the line. He was a member of the winning team with Bill Drysdale at the T Memorial in Oskaloosa. Kyle, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, congratulations on the win. I mean, how big of a feather in the cap is walking away from Oskaloosa, the winning team?
It feels pretty good. That was actually my first win in a full size.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. That's a nice way to start out.
Way to start, yeah.
It came at the right time. Take us through, you had some contenders out there. Second place team, Jesse Keel and Matt Schilling. Third place, Chad Rhodes and CJ Barnes. The Lunatic Award was split between CJ and Kurt Cochran, who was also running with DMP. You certainly had to earn that win, being that it was your first or any win in a full size car. Take us through that feature and what it was like to walk away the last team standing.
It was a hard feature. There was a lot of hard cars there, a lot of good drivers, a lot of big name drivers. CJ Barnes and Cochran both deserved Mad Dog. Cochran got me pretty good there at the end. He drove up the butt of my car and hurt my car pretty well, but I was still able to get around. And there was a lot of tough competition out there, and it was a tough feature.
Once you had qualified, how big of a load was that off your shoulders, knowing that you already were into the main event, and what kind of pressure did that put on you guys, knowing who else was also qualified for it?
It was a big load off of her chest after the heat. We had a pretty good heat. Jaron Hirschman and Adam Reese were running with us, and we had 3 Mopar Express teams in our heat. And Mopar Express, they've been in the game a long time, and they build really good stuff. And it was we lacked a little bit of confidence going into the heat. We didn't know how it was going to turn out, but it turned out in our favor pretty well. And I was really happy after the heat.
Kevin Ullman and Chris Mickelson, Team Shake and Bake, won first place in the small cars out there. I mean, tell us a little bit more about that. We're talking about you're a little bit down on confidence. You weren't really sure how things were going to go, especially with a draw with that many Postal Mopar cars on the track at the same time. And then you turn around, not only do you qualify and you're into the feature, but you guys were in fairly good shape going into that main event. That being the case, did you go onto the track thinking, hey, we've realistically got a shot at this, or were you still second guessing yourselves?
Well, I mean, there's so many variables that can go wrong. So we had more confidence going into the feature, but you always got to keep in the back of your mind, there's little things that happen that can put you out, and that you overlook on the car, a loose wire or a bad wire, or loose lug nuts. And I've seen that happen. People lose their tires. There's many variables. You could get stuck in a corner or pushed on a wall. It just, our confidence was boosted a little after the heat, and we just went out there and drove hard and tried to put on a good show in memorial of T-Bone. He was. I got the pleasure of meeting him 2 years ago, which was my first year in Oski, and I got the pleasure of meeting him, and he was a great guy. And it's nice to be able to go up there and enjoy the show, and everybody get along afterwards, shake hands, no hard feelings. And the Mopar Express guys, they're great guys. I love coming up there and running against them, and I'll definitely be back there next year for sure.
Now, actually, I lost my train of thought there. Given that this was your first win in a full-size car, you've been in full-size cars before. We saw you in Topeka last year, and you had the door ripped clean off your car. You've been at high-level shows on the national platform in the past. Was it tough at all to keep yourself mentally in the game as you got further and further into the feature? I mean, you're only out there for probably half hour, maybe 35 minutes or so as that show ran its course. Was it hard to keep your head in the game? As you're getting closer and closer, could you taste that win, or was it something that it was just business, another day at the office?
Oh, no, yeah. I got excited. I was getting excited. Once it got down into the money, you get real excited because there's nowhere to go but up from there, and it was hard to keep my excitement down and keep my cool and be able to concentrate and plan everything out I needed to do, to make it to the final two cars.
Now, when it's a team of two, because this is a different scenario than we've been seeing, when you pull out into that feature, do you guys try to stick together? Do you say to yourself, let's stay close to each other, or do you just go out there and, if I see you on the wall, I'll take you off the wall? What was your guys' game plan going into that?
We were trying to stay close together. We kind of picked out a team that we were gonna stick on and try to stick to that team until they were out and move on. But with so many cars out there, and it only being a two-man team show, it can be kind of difficult to keep track of your partner. I actually lost him for a while, and then I finally seen him again at the other end of the track. There's a lot going on out there, and it is hard to keep track of your partner. But we just tried to stick together and try to pick on one car or the same team and until they were out, and then move on. But like I said, it's hard when you got so many cars out there.
Right. This show, the T-Bone Memorial, I believe this is the second year that it's been called the T-Bone Memorial. That's kind of got to be a show right there in that area that carries a lot of prestige and, being a memorial for a fallen Derby driver. I mean, that's kind of got to be a show that everybody around there wants to win, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's a very big show, and it's my favorite show of the year. I look forward to Oski every year.
And I know with racing here in Canandaigua, there's a few memorial shows, and it always felt more special to win a memorial show. Somebody that's been involved with the sport, or for us it was a sponsor, and then a long time track official passed away, and he and a cousin, they actually both passed away at the same track, and it just always felt more special. I mean, you had to. I mean, obviously the excitement for winning your first time. I mean, we all know what that's like. Have you ever won before, Decker? Or? Ben and I know what that's like.
Wow.
But I mean,
I've won probably 20 times more than you.
But it's
fucking saying. I'm smoking on a track.
As the
you got the balls to say that.
As winning the memorial show like that, I mean, that really had to add to the feeling, winning that.
I'm gonna junk you in a parking lot. Don't talk like that. Had a long day.
Yeah, it was really special to win it there. Like I said, I've been going there. I was there last year for the first memorial show, and I went the year before, and 2 years ago I ran Oski, and that's when I was able to meet T-Bone. And I ran compact cars. I ran them for close to 8 years before I started running full size. And we didn't do too well the first 2 years there. I was a little discouraged last year after the compact show of coming back. And then I started getting into full size, and I was definitely going to come back with full size. Just the show there is awesome. It's a hard hitting show. There's no sandbagging whatsoever. The feature I think lasted, I want to say it was between 25 and 30 minutes, And, for a big show, a big payout show, and that's a quick feature.
Yeah, that's pretty fast-paced for the build.
What was there car-wise? Was it virtually all the same stuff, 98 newers? Was there older stuff there? I mean, I see on some pictures, but what did you see there car-wise?
Yeah, there was a lot of 98 newers. There was a couple old irons. There was a Riviera there. There was a couple Buicks there, I believe. There was it's your normal big show. A lot of new styles, but there was some old iron there. There was a handful of old iron there.
When you're running down and you're getting towards the end and you're getting closer and closer, and like you said, you finally hit that benchmark where you're in the money, and now it's only going up from there. I imagine that when you're pulling out of the track, going out there with a fairly good shot at placing in the money, a lot of people had some advice to give you. A lot of people suddenly became experts and wanted to tell you what you need to do in order to put your car in victory lane. Did you get anything that served as a valuable piece of advice that echoed in the back of your mind as you were going through those final moments and trying to keep your focus and moving towards that championship?
Yes, there was a lot of people who told me just keep your cool, and they know me as a driver, and there's sometimes that somebody will hit me, and I see red, and I go after them until they're out, and everybody told me just keep calm, be aware of your surroundings, and just keep calm. And a lot of my buddies that were there, they were sitting in a couple different spots on the track, and they would always tell me, hey, look over every once in a while, and a red flag will let you know how your car looks, how you're doing, if you need to, if they see anything I don't see. The couple red flags, I looked around, and, all I kept getting was thumbs up. So I just kept doing what I was doing.
Hell yeah.
There's some people.
It's a good feeling, anybody's like, yeah, you look good.
That keeping calm's easier said than done.
Well, there's some people in this room that tend to turn into sharks and their eyes roll in the back of their head, and they just start running stuff over.
But really, isn't that the art of driving? It's
it's as long as you can turn that switch on and off, instead of just leaving it on, that's the whole key,
It takes a long time.
Yeah.
You know what happens, though? Sometimes you start a derby and you're, like, trying to say, okay, I'm going to keep calm, and then, like, 10, 12 minutes in, all of a sudden you're like, yeah, screw it. I'm just going to jump stuff,
The thing is, though, is it's just so much fun to go out there and just run hard and tear stuff up. I mean, we've all fallen into it.
But I was just saying to a buddy the other day, you can go out there balls to the wall for 3 minutes, or you can go out there for 40 minutes. I'd rather derby for 40 minutes than 3 minutes hard,
There's different versions of running hard,
That's true.
Run hard and smart and run for 30 minutes.
You're absolutely right about that. That's a whole nother art.
Or you can use my favorite terminology and run like a ladlehead and be there for 5 minutes, So it's definitely, though, but to get back on the T-bone thing, I mean, you got the privilege of meeting them, and I met them years ago back when they were running the team shows at Metal Mayhem, and me and a couple friends of mine got to meet all them guys, and super, super nice guys, and I was drawn to them because they like to drive hard, and there's no BS.
Absolutely.
And they're just outstanding guys, and it's an outstanding thing that they're doing something like this to pay tribute to them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great.
Isn't that what we'd all want?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's real cool.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
Well, Kyle, I appreciate you taking some time out and talking with us a little bit about your win over there at the T-Bone Memorial. Take a minute or two before we let you go. Let everybody know how they can get a hold of you, and also make sure you recognize some of the folks to help get your car on the track.
Absolutely. Yeah, I had a lot of friends, a lot of the DMT crew that helped me out a lot. The Junkyard Dogs, Jaron Hirschman, Adam Reese, and the other two guys I had with them. It was a pleasure running with them. All the guys, Lunatic Promotions, they're great guys. They're stand-up guys. They put on a good show, a fair show, and to all the family at T-Bone, I really appreciate them, having us back again this year and able to put on a good show for them. And I wish all of them the best of luck, and I look forward to next year. Next year will be a very, very good show. I think we got a little bit of a rivalry between Mopar Express and all of us guys from Missouri. So next year you'll be in for a treat next year, that's for sure.
Sounds good. Kyle, thanks a lot for joining us, and good luck the rest of the season.
All right, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Take care.
Next year it'll be a new challenge coming in as the defending champion.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, that's got to be tough for a big show like that.
Imagine getting down to 6 guys. You got Jesse Keel, Schilling, DMP, and then there's you. It's like, oh, man, I better hold on, man.
Well, I'm this far. I might still see what I can do.
But think of how great that victory
What's the worst that can happen?
No, I know, right? I hate when you say that.
You could just kind of, wake up a couple minutes later.
Exactly.
And realize, okay, where am I? I'm still here. But
somebody's gently shaking you. Are you all right? Are you okay in there?
An ambulance guy. It's like, yeah, I'm fine.
Last time I knew there were 6 cars and it's down to 2.
Well, I don't know if you guys watched the videos of that. And boy, the motors that were running out there. I mean, you could just.
I haven't seen yet. I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, I mean,
that's that sounds a lot different than my county fair. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, because they're in the throttles. I mean, a lot. And that's what's great about a lot of these shows is these guys are not afraid to use the throttle. It's just.
Hey, what we didn't talk about real quick was there was also.
We're gonna be able to talk about that here in just 1 minute. We're gonna run through this ad player real quick, and then we're gonna be back with Tim Clark at with Smash It Derbies and Bash for Cash.
The new rules are just right. Set aside July 19th for the reinvented Keystone Nationals. Again this summer, Bo Lockwood will host the Keystone Nationals at the Jefferson County Fairgrounds in Brookville, Pennsylvania. A revamped rulebook will help welcome an all-star field as the limited well division takes center stage in a feature paying $5,000 to win. Pre-entries for the stock division are already full. For more details, join the Keystone Nationals community online at www.facebook.com/Keystone Nationals. Once again, the Keystone Nationals, July 19th, 2014 at the Jefferson County Fairgrounds, Brookville, Pennsylvania. What better way to spend Memorial Day than seeing a bunch of cars being smashed? Spend the holiday with Smash It Demolition Derbies as they again host the Bash for Cash at the Fayette County Fairgrounds in Washington Courthouse, Ohio. Planned for May 24th and 25th, the card is headlined by the co-main events, the 11,000 to win DerbyParts.com 80s newer class and the DerbyTees.com 10,000 to win Turn Back the Clock division. Other classes include full-size trucks, U-Compact, street stocks, and the 80s newer wire-up division. Gates open daily at 10 a.m. with action to follow at 4. For more information and details, visit the online home of Bash for Cash at www.smashitderby.com. Total Destruction Demo Productions is primed for an explosive 2014. Based out of Trumansburg, Steve Manshaki and Lead Inspector Ben Haas have a busy summer with 4 epic events over 7 nights scheduled all over New York State. The schedule starts with the Spring Fling in Morris, New York, June 14th. Total Destruction then hosts 2 nights of carnage at the Ontario County Fair in Canandaigua, New York, July 22nd and 26th. Then the grueling Double Down follows with the Otsego County Fair in Morris planned for July 31st and August 3rd, and the Franklin County Fair in Malone set for August 2nd and 4th. For more details, visit www.totaldestructiondemo.com or call 607-769-6820. O'Reilly Auto Parts proudly presents the Plymouth County Fair July 26th, LeMars, Iowa. Promoter Brandon Theisen has teamed with Ultimate Derby to bring a national level to one of the most aggressive and largest county fairs in the Midwest. 3,000 to win modified, 1,500 to win stocks, and 1,000 to win compacts. Passengers are welcome if you dare to ride along. The event is streamed free to the public online with 10,000 people. All courtesy of O'Reilly Auto Parts, the Plymouth County Fair, July 26th, LeMars, Iowa. Online at www.plymouthcoderby.com. That's www.plymouthcoderby.com.
You want to get guys to drive hard? Fucking $3,000 on that.
And we're back. We got Tim Clark from Smash It Derby on the line. Tim, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, great. Tim, welcome to the show. We just wanted to talk a little bit with you about Bash for Cash, everything that we've got lined up. We're excited about making the trip out there, and as I understand it, you've got quite a few cars lined up ready to go in that event here at the end of the month.
Yeah, we're over like 300 cars right now in trucks.
Nice.
It's going to be a humongous weekend.
How you going to get all those cars through inspection?
Start Friday.
The week before.
That's up to my crew, my inspection crew. They're going to be busy at work. I can tell you that much.
I mean, the entry list and the people that are talking about coming there, you've got pretty much every demolition derby car builder in the country looking at making their way to Washington Courthouse here in just a couple weeks away.
Yes, we have people from all over, from Canada, from Illinois, Ohio, Kentucky. I mean, it's just unbelievable the support we get of derby drivers that come out for this show.
Man, it's done nothing but gain steam since I was out there helping you, Tim, there a few years ago, and I know exactly what you're talking about, and hopefully it's not going to be like in the 90s like it was the year I was out there, because it was definitely hard work, but I had a lot of fun and back then, and it's definitely taking right off, and it's got to be getting close to outgrowing them fairgrounds, aren't you?
Well, we're getting close. I mean, camping, camping, it's been so busy this year. We actually added 25 more camp spots.
Mm-hmm.
I put electric in and stuff for 25 more campers to be there. And, I mean, it's just getting unbelievable. I mean, the fairgrounds is getting smaller and smaller, and I thought it was pretty big.
Yeah, it was.
What's it like as a promoter? I mean, right now your show is the most talked about show on pretty much all form of media. I mean, on WeCrash, on Facebook. I mean, everybody is talking about this. I mean, as a promoter, that's got to make you feel pretty good.
Well, I mean, it makes me feel good, but I mean, this show here, we started this thing about 8 years ago, where it started out at a $1,500 show, then it went to a $2,000 show, then it went, so this show's been around for a while. So, but I mean, it's great for having all the people that, the hype of it and everything like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, I ain't going to say nothing bad, I guess.
It's always nice to have the problem of potentially running out of room because your show's getting so big. I mean,
that's a good thing.
That's just it's just that's the problem everybody wants to have.
Tough day.
Yeah, but when you started, Tim, this and it was a $1,500 to win show, and now you've got two divisions paying out over $10,000. I mean, did you ever imagine that it would get this big in such a short amount of time?
I never imagined, when I even started a demolition derby company, I never imagined paying a $11,000 purse to win. I never imagined derbies would ever get as big as it is. I mean, these days derbies some shows is unbelievable. I mean, like you guys say all the time, these guys have $10,000 in their cars pulling on the track.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so yeah, I would never thought it would have paid like it is now. That's for sure.
When you look at this from a promoter's perspective, this has got to be a difficult decision to make. But now that you have made it to go to the large payouts and you've got such a national draw, did you waste worry? Should you have gone to that big payout sooner, or do you feel that you guys went through the proper progression to make sure that you hit the standard that you're at?
Well, I think I went through the right way because, I mean, I always wanted to make sure the money was there before the people was there. And, Smash the Demolition Derbies, we've been in business for 15 years, and this, I mean, it's pretty much Smash it that pays for this thing, plus the people and the fans and stuff like that. So, I mean, if something did happen, I just wanted to make sure everything was going to be taken care of that day instead of going, oh, I can't pay this today. So, I think I did the right way, the way I did it.
Yep. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean,
Absolutely.
the guarantee in the no doubt in people's minds, knowing that the money's going to be there. I mean, it just gains the respect and reputation that goes way up and beyond any payout. I mean, it's as long as you have that reputation and respect, the people are going to come.
Yeah, it's support you.
Well, I was going to say that too. It's big that obviously their inspections are done right. The officials are good. There's a lot more than just the money side of it.
I can say firsthand, the inspection crew is
top notch.
Top notch. I mean, and he's added a few people, and there's you hire the best to catch the best.
Damn
and that's
right.
pretty much it's
Damn
definitely that aspect is the greatest part about it, I think.
Smash It has a schedule of you're probably pushing 40 shows in Ohio, aren't you?
Yeah, I think I'm right at 38 county fairs in Ohio.
Jeez, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
So is this?
Actually, I could have done about 7 more, but I turned them down.
So is this is Bash your first show of the year, or?
The first show of the year is the Bash. Yep.
So then it's
Way to kick it off.
Yeah, that's like starting off with the Daytona 500, man. It just doesn't get any better than
How
that.
many counties does Ohio have?
It starts out with a bang, that's for sure. I mean, I've been working on this show since probably October of last year at my end of my year show. I mean, there's just so much planning and scheduling, and people just don't understand how much there is involved.
Well, that's the one thing like we talked about when we went up to Minnesota this year.
88, Josh. 88 counties in Ohio.
I had never stepped back and looked at, all the headaches that a promoter has. And, to see what you guys have to go through, and I mean, especially, something as big as the bash that you guys have. I mean, that's a big headache. I mean, it's just
sure.
you have to worry about, if you got enough cups, are the porta potties getting pumped? I mean, it's just crazy.
You pulling that off, Brian. You're not a boss.
No.
See this?
You're not a boss.
You got to pawn that stuff off, buddy.
I just started a few years ago helping, and I got a lot of gray hair since then. So
But if Tim's saying he does 38 county fairs and Ohio's got 88, he does like half the. How great is that? I mean, so virtually Ohio, half of Ohio has standard rules.
Well, that's with the assumption that every county in Ohio only has one derby.
Well, isn't New York like that? Oh, that's true. That's true. I guess not. I guess there's multiples.
I mean, there's some places that have multiple derbies, and there's some counties that don't have any.
Still 38.
That's awesome. That's a good question, Josh.
No, but I don't misunderstand that. My point is he probably realistically has half or possibly more.
Yeah, I got probably half of the Ohio. Like I said, I turned a fair convention like everybody does. I turned down 7 shows that my brother, he's my head inspector and my partner and everything. And when people would come up and talk to me, he'd say, "No, we can't do it. We can't."
Actually,
there's one day I have 3 derbies on the same day.
Wow, that's got to be fun.
Okay, do tell. How do you do that?
I go do a show. My brother does a show, and my nephew will go and do a show at different county fairs. I mean,
that's awesome.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, now Josh brought up a good point, Tim. Good question would be, out of Ohio, are the smash it rules kind of like a uniform, uniform rule compared to the rest of the state? So guys, versus running the smash it shows, can they go to run the other promoters shows that are in the state?
Yeah, pretty much.
Close.
The smash it rules is actually took over Ohio.
Okay.
So if I don't have the show, most of the other shows, an average guy will be putting it on, or a smaller promoter, and they try to go towards my rules. If they don't, nobody really wants to go there because, half of the Ohio's got cars built for these rules. You know how it is. Nobody really wants to cut their car apart to go run it somewhere else. So, I mean, honestly, county fairs where the promoters, the fair board, and they're saying it's smash it rules.
Yeah.
I'm not even doing the show.
I mean, we saw that at Sturgis.
Yeah, I mean, your rules are going to Kentucky. So,
let me ask that, Tim. Tim, does it make you nervous when other places take on your rules because maybe they don't enforce them the same way, and then all of a sudden your rules start changing as they get farther out? Is that a worry of yours at all, where you say, like, no, I don't want other people using my rules? Or how do you feel about that?
I mean, there's 2 sides of it. It's good because everybody gets to know smash it, but like you said, a lot of places don't really truly enforce as hard as we enforce the rule.
Right.
Right. So, I mean, I run into that a lot where somebody will go run a county fair, so smash the rules, then come to our rule and our show, then we make them cut 10 extra things on their car.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Didn't know the whole truly rule.
Now, what if somebody from like New York calls you and says, "Hey, Tim, we want to take your rules on"? Do you say like, "Here, I'll send them to you," or do you say you're going to pay for that, or what is that?
I'm all right with it. I mean, it just makes my name get bigger. I mean, it ain't like, we'll just say like Brandon down at Sturgis, when he called me up and asked me if he could use my rules, and I'm like, sure, just try to enforce them as much as possible.
Right.
He had a derby driver that runs for us and helped him inspect. They did a great job. I mean, I've seen a couple little things, but I mean, it's hard to do it if you don't do it every day. I mean, my inspectors have been with me for 15 years.
Right.
So they know what I want, and so they pretty much enforce them to the way I want to do it. I mean, nobody's ever perfect.
As a promoter, of a show that's now met this caliber, do you still get excited the day of the Derby? Also, do you still get, when people pre-enter or when you see cars pull in, do you still get excited when you realize that this particular driver has shown up
Well, I mean, with this, yeah, I mean, everybody does. I mean, what I really like with my show, I started in, letting people pre-enter like in November, and I think it filled up in 16 days this year.
Wow. Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome.
And, and to turn back the clock, I think it was 24 days this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
And actually, then I said, well, I'm going to take some more entries, so I took a little more than what I was supposed to. But, because you're always going to get people to fall out. But, I mean, it's definitely going to be a packed car, derby this year, that's for sure.
That's great.
Now, Tim, obviously you're a huge Derby fan and you love derbying, but I mean, with the shows that you're actually promoting, you don't ever get